Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Zangana, and today we're gonna talk about evaluating a character's difficulty. While difficulty is heavily reliant on an individual's perspective and performance on X character, here we suppose that all the characters are played to their logically maximum potential whilst their player having a fairly decent fundamental. Character difficulty falls into three key points: viability, concept, and execution. Character viability. How effective the character is regarding winning. If they are a poke-heavy character, how good their pokes are. If they are a counter-hit fish heavy character, how effective is their counter-hit fish tools, etc. One character might fall into several categories and excel at one or many categories. For example, Ganryu has excellent pokes, decent counter-hit fish, as well as being a powerhouse, while lacking 10-frame jabs, fast tracking mids, or magic 4. Fahkumram has oppressive launchers such as back forward 4, crazy keep-outs like 3, counter-hit fish tools with 3+4, powerhouse 50/50s. Julia has one of the best wall carries, wall damage, and wall pressure, one of them being a 14 to 15 frame mid safe wall bounce, while keeping pokes such as forward 1, which is enough to cover her footsie game. This results in a character to be highly viable or not. Highly viable characters usually have less bad matchups, while low viable characters have more bad matchups, which generally leads them into a difficult road to win with. Simply, the higher their viability, which is the power of their tools given, the easier the character becomes to win with. Character concept. How difficult it is to utilize the strength of the character mentally. For example, Lei Wulong and Yoshimitsu have many stances that branch off to different moves and etc. This makes a decision toe-on-toe more difficult than a character that needs only 10 or less of their moves to win the whole match, such as Kazumi. The split-second decisions are easier with simpler moveless characters. Yoshimitsu takes the cake in terms of concept difficulty. He can be difficult to get used to due to not having conventional tools, instead heavily situational moves and bad frames. However, combining his vast moveset and stances, you get a character that is very difficult to predict, purely unorthodox while bending rules due to his flash. One of the characters, if not the character with the longest learning curve of any fighting game. Xiaoyu is another example, one of the few characters that are notoriously famous for their gimmicks, but in high level you need to get creative with them to win. Repeating the same flow might easily cost you the round. Plus, one of her strengths is Oki setups, and to this day players are still finding new techs with her. Still, her Okis are situational, but rewarding. In short, the complexity of concept is like having a robot that has 2 buttons to operate versus one with 30 buttons to operate. Of course, the latter is more difficult to grasp mentally and needs more adaptation to recognize which buttons use at which time. Finally, we come to execution. We talk on execution while being humanly possible, and take Akuma as an example. His combos are fairly difficult to do in actual matches, needs a lot of practice, and the slightest delay or misinput may cost you a meter, which you manage to build along the match. On the other hand, we have Kazuya's down forward 2 counter hit into pure electric wind godfist combo, extremely difficult to do even in practice mode. But does he really need it to do the combo off of down forward 2 counter hit? No. But does he need on point execution with his electrics and wave dash mix-ups? Yes. Every single character in this game have extremely difficult combos to do. The question is, do you actually need them to do the combo? For example, Steve needs execution to do the down forward 2 counter hit combo, and there is no way around it. So that is an obstacle which increases the character difficulty. Keep in mind, execution branches off not to just combos and launchers. Some characters need it as vital tools for their kit, for example, Brian's taunt game. In conclusion, whenever we talk about a character's difficulty, we must consider viability, concept, and execution to understand how difficult they are. Viability being first. Concept, then comes execution, since viability is unchanged and something that is in the game without our ability to change it. Concept can be learned, but has more to do with adapting to the character in a longer run and our mental comprehension, while execution can be practiced and integrated into our muscle memory. All this to say, we cannot take a single aspect of a character like execution and base the character solely on that while comparing its difficulty to the rest of the cast. Yes, Li Chaolan is a heavy execution demanding character, but his concept is not complicated and he is highly viable. Comparing that to Yoshimitsu, which he has fairly doable execution, a very complicated concept but not as viable. While we have Gigas, with no execution demand, straightforward concept, while his viability arguably is at rock bottom. So, which one of them is more difficult? So that's all I have on the character difficulty topic. Hope the points I made got across, and be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.